Almost there, just have to practice my voice for a bit.
Hey, Apoplexy, should I add some romance music to the background when I edit this later?
Yes! Alright, I'm ready. Are you guys ready to listen to the most hottest fanfiction ever?
Didn't work. Everybody.
Is anybody ready to hear the most hottest fanfiction yet?
You know what's funny?
What?
You know Elliot, the guy I recorded with earlier. He
Yeah?
joined the server and he has
Yeah?
no idea what we're doing.
Alright. Alright. Mute your mic, dull dummy, and Connor, alright?
Already did.
Yep, no you didn't. Nope.
Alright. Let's start this fanfiction in 3, 2, 1. 2 months have passed since Freddy and Bonnie professed their love for one another. Technically, Bonnie confessed his love to Freddy, but who gives a shit about detail? Not this narrator. Anyway, their relationship had blossomed into something glorious. Bonnie became less of a snarky smartass and more of a lovey bunny. Shitty pun, I know, but I'd like to see you do better. Freddy didn't really change much, since he was already like an older brother to the Purple Bunny. If you didn't bother to read the original source material, or the first story in this AU. These two have been friends since they were kids. Now onto the part you actually listen to this story for. One day, Bonnie was working on some new songs with his boyfriend. Crumbled up sheets of paper littered the show stage's floor. Lately, the two of them have been struggling to come up with something fresh and new. No, we wrote that during our last session, Bonnie said to himself. He fought long and hard for lyrics that stuck well. Sadly, despite his efforts, nothing worked out in the long run. Well, I'm burned out. As much as I hate to admit it, so am I, Freddy admitted, lowering his head in shame. It's strange, the time we spent together could have easily been used as lyrical material. Yet, none of it really works. God, I hate homophobes. Bonnie stated before getting up. If you need me, I'll be elsewhere. Hopefully that'll give me some creative juice. As Freddy said his farewell, the rabbit went on to his favorite place in the whole restaurant, the supply closet. Even if Mike was able to watch everything that went down in that room, the supply closet gave Bonnie a sense of privacy, a sense of secure serenity. Wait, why am I trying to sound intelligent in Rule 34? No, going back now, I suppose. As soon as the door was shut, Bonnie plopped his butt onto the floor and relaxed. It's good to be back in here, he thought as he slowly drifted in and out of consciousness. I honestly don't see how a supply closet can give him so much comfort, but who am I to judge? I'm just a filthy-minded guy that obsesses over this game series like a teenage girl obsesses over a boy band. Just then, a daydream began to unravel from the inner depths of Bonnie's imagination. Like anyone in love, it started off with Freddy sitting beside Bonnie on a hillside. Like every stereotypical love story, the sun was setting, leaving behind a scenery that even the grumpiest of critics would deem beautiful. The said scenery emitted sounds of utter awe from the couple's muzzles. I never witnessed such beauty, Freddy stated. Well, from nature it is. I knew what you meant, Bonnie reassured, patting Freddy on the back. As he did, he couldn't help but peek at the bear's rear end. Oh, how he wished he could clutch it with his hands. He imagined it feeling like two squeaky toys, because he was lost in his lustful desires. He was unaware of the fact that he was living his fantasy as he came back to his senses. All he could do was to see the deep blush that plastered Freddy's face. The bunny's mind came to a blank when it came to responses. Well, someone's been feeling naughty, Freddy said after a few moments of silence. However, Bonnie noticed a hint of lust in Freddy's voice. Before the bunny knew it, his lips made contact with Freddy's. However, this wasn't any ordinary kiss. This kiss involved the use of tongues. French kissing, if you're wondering. The two were evenly matched in terms of fighting for dominance. Saliva dropped everywhere as they carelessly swapped fluids with each other. Amongst the makeout session, Bonnie felt a stiffening sensation down below. Sadly, like every dream, it came to an abrupt end. Bonnie noticed that he had been licking on a broom. 1 second. Damn it, he cursed, before throwing the broom to the side. He then noticed that he still felt hard on his crotch. Some dreams do come true. He placed his hands on his hips before tapping some switches. Several clicking sounds could be heard. Afterwards, it appeared as if his crotch's endoskeleton fell off. In actuality, it was merely a cover for what was truly his crotch's endoskeleton. A pair of purple testicles let gravity do its thing as a penis shaped like a bunny sprung to life. It was a decent 6.5 inches. Nothing amazing, but Bonnie was pretty proud of it. The purple bunny sighed as he prepared to give his schlong a good stroking. Before he could get a grip on his baby maker, someone knocked at the door. "Hey Bonnie, I know you like to have your time alone, but may I come in for a moment?" A familiar voice asked. Bonnie blushed before quickly putting the cover on his junk. He ran to the door and opened it, revealing the fact that the voice belonged to Freddy. Sure, come in," Bonnie stuttered while letting the brown bear in. At that moment, Freddy knew something was up with the rabbit. "Is everything alright? You're stuttering like you did when you confessed your feelings for me," Freddy wondered. "Crap, he's aware," Bonnie thought. Just then, he noticed a yellowish-orange fluid dripping down his legs. He blushed even harder while covering his legs. I'm fine?" Of course, Freddy wasn't buying it. "Then why are you positioned like you are right now?" Freddy queried, making Bonnie even more nervous. But Bonnie knew he wasn't gonna fool the bear. In the end, he decided to spill the beans. "I'm horny," Bonnie bluntly explained. "We've been in a relationship for quite some time now. I'm about ready to take our relationship to the next level." "But how can we? We don't even have those parts," Freddy pointed out. You see, while Bonnie is aware of the fact that he has genitals, Freddy isn't. Bonnie had tried countless times to tell Freddy that they all had genitalia. However, Freddy pushed it aside and thought Bonnie was just being his typical self. Why the people who built these animatronics gave them such parts is beyond me, as I wrote this monstrosity. "Can you let me show you something?" Bonnie requested. "Okay, what do you want to show me?" Freddy wondered. As he let his concerns be known, Bonnie proceeded to take off the cover once more. Just like that, his junk received oxygen once again. This time, his penis was leaking the yellowish-orange fluid from before. To say Freddy was shocked would be a major understatement. "Now do you believe me?" Bonnie inquired, waiting for Freddy to respond. "But why? How? This isn't right. We were made to entertain children. Children! How can our creators give us such parts?" Freddy choked out. "Beats me. Nothing we can do about it now," Bonnie replied seductively. He wrapped his arms around Freddy and proceeded to kiss him. Any worries? Any worries? 1 second. Any worries Freddy had instantly vanished as he got lost in the kiss. Just as Bonnie shrieked, they quickly had their tongues touching. Although Freddy was tougher to beat than Bonnie had originally thought, it's not like he cared. A kiss was a kiss. When they eventually gasped for air, Bonnie was practically leaving puddles of pre-cum all over the floor. "So, how exactly do I help with satisfying your needs?" Freddy stammered. Bonnie questioned it at first, but then realized that Freddy never really had any sexual experiences before. "Let me give you a demonstration," Bonnie suggested before lifting his legs up. He leaned them against a nearby wall, brought his lower body up, lifted his head up to his crotch, and began licking his sausage. How often is it you see an awful fellatio in these types of fanfics? I know you read at least one smutty fanfiction before this one, you sick pervert. Anyway, Bonnie escalated to full-on sucking. He moaned as he gave his wiener unbearable amounts of pleasure. Freddy watched the scene before him in amusement. He was amazed at how flexible the Bonnie was. He still felt a sense of distaste, but it was easily outweighed by the lust. The bear began to feel something he never felt in his life. He felt something tightening around his crotch. It didn't take long for him to figure out he was horny. Then Bonnie decided he sucked himself off enough. "Do you understand now?" he asked Freddy. "I suppose," Freddy answered before cuddling off with Bonnie. He rested his head on the side of the rabbit's crotch and stuck his tongue out. With one little lick, shivers went up Bonnie's spine. Yeah, right there, Bonnie moaned as Freddy licked on his schlong some more. Freddy had to admit that he liked doing this. The mixture of Bonnie's recum and saliva was far from an undesirable combination. Pretty soon, the brown bear had all the purple rabbit's penis in his mouth. For someone that's never done this, before you're pretty good at it. Freddy smiled at the compliment. Hearing those kind words was long enough to encourage him to take it to the next level. He began to bob his head, which caused Bonnie to moan even louder. Fuck, that's good, Bonnie shouted as he started to feel a familiar sensation. Hey Fred, I'm about to blow. Freddy was too entranced to hear Bonnie. Why hadn't he listened to Bonnie before? He never wanted this to end. Just then, Bonnie couldn't take anymore and blew his load. The rabbit's jizz happened to be nacho cheese. Yes, I referenced Coyley's work. Don't judge me. Freddy was caught off guard by the sudden burst of cheese. Rest assured, he swallowed most of it without choking. Some cheese managed to seep out of his mouth and onto the floor beneath them. Wow, that was certainly unique, Freddy admitted while wiping off any cheese plastered on his mouth. We're only getting started, Bonnie stated before grabbing Freddy's hips. Pretty soon, flicking sounds could be heard as Freddy's cover came right off, revealing his own junk. Unlike Bonnie's penis, Freddy's was 8 inches long and was shaped like a bear's. Oh my, you got quite a big fella. Is that a good thing? Freddy wondered. You bet your ass it is, Bonnie replied before doing what Freddy did to him only a few moments ago. Freddy was shaking from overwhelming pleasure. He had never felt so pleased in his life. Oh my lord, Freddy stammered, moaning louder and louder as Bonnie kept giving him a blowjob. This is too much. Bonnie ignored him as he continued to suck Freddy's penis. He eventually had all 8 inches inside his mouth. As he did, he could taste wing sauce slowly dripping out. Thankfully, Bonnie loved chicken wings, so he couldn't have asked for anything better. Later on, the rabbit began to pick up the pace. This let out a scream of ecstasy from the brown bear. They were surprised that none of the others barged into the supply closet at that moment. Then again, they were most likely busy with their own business. Sometime later, Freddy could feel the need to release his juices. Bonnie, I feel like I'm gonna explode, Freddy struggled to say. Bonnie took Freddy's penis out of his mouth and began to stroke it instead. He opened his mouth and anticipated an explosion of wing sauce, and with one more scream of ecstasy from Freddy, Bonnie's face was painted with a plentiful amount of wing sauce. He savored every drop that landed on his taste buds. After things settled down, the two proceeded to cuddle. I don't even know where to begin, Freddy said, who of which was feeling a bit woozy from the new experience. You thought that was amazing? Wait until I do this, Bonnie lustrously whispered while positioning himself. He had his anus on the tip of Freddy's cock. I'm ready for you, Freddy. Before the bear could say anything, Bonnie slammed his butt down at full force. The bunny groaned in agony as Freddy gasped. He gritted his teeth to prevent himself from screaming. Are you okay? Freddy yelled. I'm fine. I'll just work through the pain, Bonnie whined. He started to develop a rhythm. As the pain slowly faded away, he could start to feel like he was in heaven. Freddy, on the other hand, felt like he was in a place much more greater than heaven. Bonnie might have been a tight fit, but that was only increased his ever-growing pleasure. He felt like he could erupt at any moment. As Bonnie got more comfortable with having Freddy's schlong in his butt, he sped up the rhythm he was creating. Both parties were practically screaming at the top of their lungs. Seriously, not even Mike was concerned about what they were doing. It's not like it matters. Pretty soon, Freddy could feel that feeling in his crotch again. But Bonnie, Freddy panted. I know, let it all out, Bonnie requested. Freddy obliged to the rabbit's wishes by ejaculating in his anus. As Freddy's wing sauce pumped out, the two lovers fell to the floor. They were exhausted. Good lord, I never felt so alive, Freddy panted. You can say that again, Bonnie agreed, before planting a quick kiss on Freddy's cheek. I love you. I love you too, Freddy said before passing out. Bonnie proceeded to do the same until... Wait! Bonnie shouted, waking Freddy up. What is it? Freddy queried. I got an idea for a song, Bonnie announced, which brought a smile to Freddy's face. That's great, but can we wait? I'm kind of tired, Freddy suggested. Alright, good night, Bonnie said before dozing off. Good night, Freddy said before drifting off to sleep. The end.
Done reading?
Yeah.
That was lovely. A 10 out of 10 on you. Great story. Again.
Really though, I should pick Bonnie X Broom.
Freddy X Bonnie.
Dude, I got it all record, man. You don't worry about it. This is getting uploaded.
Yeah, with jazz music and all that.
Yeah.
Godzilla, you know what needs to be done now.
Oh god.
You have it downloaded, right?
I swear I never had this much laughter before. I'm speechless. I'm speechless of what I just read. What did I just read? Seriously, what did I just read?
The bit worst thing about it is that people joined team, like when you first started this, we were in team red, and then people joined team blue because they got scared. Honestly, they're just like, fuck this, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And I accidentally got caught out of the freaking thing.
I don't know if I want to read another one.
Oh god.
Okay, I wonder what will happen once you upload that to YouTube.
I'm still recording. When should I stop going?
Alright, just turn it off, alright?
Okay, turn it off.